Hi there, friends. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Haniewich. It is 9:45 here on this Thursday evening. Hope everybody had a great day. It was an interesting day, wasn't it? We started out the day with some rain, even heard some rumbles of thunder, and it was 35 degrees outside. And then by the afternoon, we started to clear things out, see a little more sunshine, and now we're actually watching a cold front getting poised and ready to push through the region here pretty soon. So without further ado, let's get into the radar, and you'll notice that the vast majority of us are still pretty dry, okay? What I do want to show you, though, is areas further west, far southwest Virginia, portions of the Mountain Empire certainly getting wet right now. And it's very important to note, first and foremost, that the showers and thunderstorms are pushing to the east at about 20 to 40 miles per hour. Notice also that we have about 73 lightning strikes in this one view that I'm showing you right now. All right, friends, let's zoom in and show you who is seeing what. We're going to start by going into the Mountain Empire and showing you that we are seeing some very heavy rain right now along US Highway 58, Mount Rogers, even areas very close to Independence, seeing some very heavy rain, some thunderbolts, some lightning bolts in areas just to the north of Highway 58. Certainly Marion in southwest Virginia seeing some very heavy rain, as are folks in around Tazewell. Western Bland, western Wythe counties also getting in on some very heavy rain. Let's zoom into Wythe County, and you'll notice right now Wytheville maybe only seeing a couple of lighter rain showers, while Rotary Retreat a little bit closer to the Smith County line right along Interstate 81 certainly seeing some heavier downpours. Okay, so that's a look at what we're seeing here along the Mountain Empire. Again, all this is pushing east at 20 to 40 miles per hour. Very also important to note that these showers and thunderstorms, as they move east, should continue to weaken, okay? It's a very ominous picture right now, okay? It's nasty out there, especially in portions of Tennessee and far southwest Virginia. But we're a little more stable here. We're not quite as warm. We've got not as much spin in our atmosphere, which is great news. But nevertheless, we're going to get on some more rain and some more thunderstorms here for roughly the next 4 to maybe 5 hours or so. So that's a look at what we're seeing here locally. Look at West Virginia. Don't want to ignore you folks if you're watching us in Beckley or in and around Princeton. Some very heavy rain and a whole lot of lightning being reported in Princeton, Athens, areas north into areas close to Hinton, even in Beckley, again, seeing some pretty nasty weather. What I want to do is skirt this picture out just a little bit. I want to show you the entirety of this storm system, and it's a doozy. And what I want to do is actually turn on the watches and warnings as well. Zoom this picture out, and you'll notice that we've got some red boxes showing up in Tennessee. That's an indicator of tornado warnings, okay? So Knoxville, you just got done with the tornado warning. And now areas a little bit closer to Sevierville, if you're at all familiar with Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, areas just north of there in Sevierville under a tornado warning right now. And then we also have a few severe thunderstorm warnings, areas in around Morristown, Tennessee. Also some severe thunderstorm warnings in around Kingsport in Tennessee, Bristol, Abingdon, among the folks right now seeing some very heavy rain and quite a bit of thunder and lightning as well. This activity is all moving to the east. Very important to note that, 20 to 40 miles per hour. So what you see in Marion is eventually going to be moving into Wythe County. What you see in Abingdon is eventually going to be pushing into Grayson County. Again, I stress to you, the general trend has been for these showers and thunderstorms as they move east closer to us to weaken a little bit, and our air mass is even more stable than the air mass even over Abingdon. So therein lies some good news for us. We're going to hear some thunder. We're going to see some lightning, especially out across the Mountain Empire and New River Valley here for the next couple of hours. But again, the general trend will be for these things to weaken as they get a little closer to Southside and even the Roanoke Valley. So there's a look at what we're seeing in far southwest Virginia as we come back closer to home here. Roanoke, Lexington, Lynchburg, Martinsville, Danville, Christiansburg, Pulaski, Galax for the time being. You're pretty dry. Again, one more look at this shows that we've got some heavy rain to go. And I'm thinking that this should clear out of our viewing area anytime between roughly 1 and 2 a.m. So again, it's knocking on our doorstep. If it hasn't already arrived in your backyard, it will here certainly over the next about 3 to 4 hours. But again, you folks, Lynchburg and Southside, going to see a lesser impact than the NRV and potentially even the Highlands. All right, so there's a look at the radar. Coming back closer to home here, Certainly a lot of lightning going on in southern West Virginia, far southwest Virginia. So again, don't be surprised if you hear some thunder tonight or even see some lightning. All right, let's talk now about the flood watch. We do indeed have a flood watch in effect for areas mainly in Giles, Bland, Wythe, and Grayson counties. This flood watch is in effect until 3 a.m. Okay, so flood watch in effect for these green shaded counties. It does include Independence, Wytheville, Bland, Rocky Gap, not to mention Parisburg, Glenlyn, Narrows, and also areas in around Newport. So areas in green, that's where we have a flood watch in effect here for about the next 5 hours or so. And it makes sense. This is what we've seen here over the last roughly 36 hours or so. Keep in mind, we got a lot of rain last night, got a lot of rain this morning, nice break this afternoon, more rain coming here this evening into the overnight. It has kind of a little bit been the land of the have and have-nots here as far as rain is concerned here for the last 36 hours. The two zones that have seen the most rain, the Highlands and the NRV. So the mountains, you've seen more rain than say, the Piedmont here over the last day and a half. You've seen over an inch and a quarter in Hot Springs, a little over an inch in Covington, right at about 3/4 of an inch in Wytheville, Blacksburg, maybe even isolated higher totals in portions of Bland and Montgomery counties. Then you head further east, Lynchburg, you've seen about 1/4 of an inch. We've seen anywhere from roughly 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of rain out across south side locations. We're going to add to these totals, especially in the mountains here, over the course of the next 3 to 4 hours or so. Let's talk tomorrow, okay? As you know, it's been pretty active here for the last, again, 24 to 36 hours. But again, the last couple of days have been active. Tomorrow's not. Tomorrow's looking to be a pretty nice day. We're going to start out with temperatures in the 30s and 40s, highs tomorrow in the upper 50s to near 60s. So we are going to warm up nicely again on Friday. May see a couple of leftover clouds early in the day, but I think the general trend will be for us to be mainly sunny most of the day on Friday. It's going to be warm. It's going to be pleasant. It is going to be breezy, okay? The winds will be a factor for us tomorrow from time to time. Sustained winds about 7 to 14, going to have some gusts over 20 to 25, especially as you go in areas towards the mountains, towards the higher terrain. Let's talk about the weekend forecast, shall we? Temperatures on Saturday are going to be only in the 40s. So after a warm day tomorrow, we cool down again on Saturday. Going to have almost like a little wedge setup on Saturday. So we're thinking here is we're going to have the best chance for rain this weekend lying Friday night into about the first half, maybe 2/3 of the day on Saturday. I think by the end of Saturday, we're dry. I think, frankly, most of Saturday afternoon should be pretty dry. It's Friday night, mainly through the early afternoon hours on Saturday, where we're going to have some rain, and certainly can't rule out the chance for a little bit of freezing rain towards the higher terrain as we go late Friday night into early Saturday. Portions of the Highlands, once again, portions of the southern Shenandoah, maybe Mountain Lake. Those are the areas that could see a little bit of freezing rain here late Friday night into early Saturday. Saturday afternoon, as I said, the trend will be for the showers to move out, and then Sunday should be a much quieter day, should be a sunnier day for us, partly to mostly sunny on Sunday, with temperatures climbing to about the middle 50s. So after a cool day Saturday, we're warming up on Sunday. But next week looks to be active, okay? And next week looks to be a time frame for us where we'll be tracking several different fronts, okay? And what that means for us is you're going to want to keep the umbrella handy. On Monday, I think we will have some rain chances. It looks like Monday's mainly just going to be a cold rain, maybe a little brief wintry mix late Sunday night into early Monday. But for the most part, Monday, I think, is mainly just a cold rain, and it looks like the rain should be pretty scattered in nature, not a washout on Monday by any means. And then Tuesday happens. And I think if you were to look at the next several fronts that are going to be impacting us, the one Tuesday probably bears watching the most, okay? So Tuesday could be a day where we have all types of precipitation. Further south, it could be rain. In the middle part of our viewing area, it could be a mix, and further north, it could be snow. So right now, I feel fairly confident in saying we're going to be watching for the chance for a wintry mix as we go into Tuesday. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's several days out, but I think the best way to phrase Tuesday, because all precipitation types are possible, is we're going to be watching for the possibility of a wintry mix on Tuesday of next week. Probably going to start Monday night late, go into Tuesday, and probably end Tuesday night. As we continue to go through time, notice that we should be, for the most part, dry Wednesday. Nice break for one day. And then Thursday happens, and on Thursday, looks like we'll have mainly a cold rain again pushing into the picture. Could have maybe a little bit of mixing on Thursday, especially north of 460. But I'm thinking that the system on Monday should mainly be a cold rain, maybe a little mixing. I think the storm system on Thursday will be mainly a cold rain, maybe some mixing further north of 460. It's Tuesday. I think that's the storm system that bears the most watching here as we go into next week. Wintry mix certainly possible on that day. All right, so we've talked about the rain headed our way. We've talked about the weekend. We've talked about next week. Know that next week we're going to be colder. Temperatures next week for the most part in the 30s and 40s. We've been a little bit spoiled. Temperatures tomorrow, 50s and 60s. Temperatures on Sunday, 50s and maybe even a couple of 60s. By next week, we will turn colder. All right, friends, current time is now 9:55. We're going to sign off for now, but we'll be back here at 11 p.m. for our newscast on WSLS. We hope to see you then, and if we don't, I hope everybody has a great night. Thanks for watching, and especially you folks in the NRV and Mountain Empire, know that some rain and potentially some thunderstorms are headed your way here relatively soon.